Longtime fans of the channel know I don't particularly enjoy conservative adult cartoons. In fairness, I don't have a lot of respect for regular adult cartoons either. I can't think of anything I'd want to do less than watch an episode of Velma or Paradise PD. Or, well, I can think of one, and that would be reviewing all the episodes of The New Norm I've chosen not to watch after getting very good advice from my therapist. But sorry, Lisa, your boy has got some cultural criticism to do and a video essay to write. For those of you who aren't familiar with The New Norm, I would recommend my other video covering it, but as I always like to say, we run this shit like a Marvel movie. You can just jump in at any point. You have my guarantee that you won't lose any of the narrative continuity that would be gained by getting additional context about this weird alt-right cartoon. In the past year, The New Norm has been one of the most bombastic presences on Twitter, with their premiere episode getting about 42 million viewers. That works out to roughly a third of the people who tune into the Super Bowl every year, which for my non-American fans, that's a pretty big deal here. Football is basically the only thing Americans still watch together anymore. 22 elite athletes gathering, throwing a ball around, collectively risking major brain damage for medium glory. And speaking of brain damage, it's honestly pretty impressive that The New Norm was able to garner such a large audience, given that at its core it is truly just a poorly written and poorly animated conservative cartoon web series. Still though, you honestly have to give them some credit, even if it seems like a third of their audience is there ironically, and then a third of that audience is there to goon ironically, and then a third of that audience is there to goon unironically. I guess this will be a good test if the YouTube algorithm likes the word goon. But the reason I find The New Norm so fascinating is not just because it's incredibly pathetic and easy to make fun of, but I think it honestly represents a bit of a conservative time capsule. It represents a time when there was a perceived unity between all sects of conservatism, from regular, right-of-center white dudes who just want their taxes cut, to MAGA world Trump disciples, to Elon Musk's weird right-wingers who never got laid in high school, or in college, or ever. But now that Donald Trump and Elon Musk have had a breakup that was even more bombastic than my own, I'm not sure how well The New Norm is going to age. Badly. It'll age badly. For other reasons too, because it is depicting a world that never actually existed from the moment of its inception. As we break down more of the show, it'll become readily apparent that it was written by people who unironically think that Gen Z is putting litter boxes in classrooms.
Which we don't want to do. It's really unfair, because most...
A mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Without a litter box.
Okay, so I bet that is a joke, but look what we have here. The New Norm Twitter account posting this clearly satirical TikTok as if it was something that people actually believed. They absolutely love pasting their characters over random videos on Twitter, but I should probably stop procrastinating, even though I would love to keep talking, because then I don't have to watch it. Okay. Fuck. Okay, fine. I'm getting to it. You YouTube audiences, you want me to get right to the point, don't you? Today I'm going to look at the 4 episodes of The New Norm I didn't get to in my original video. We're going to make fun of them a lot, and we're going to see if we can come up for an explanation as to why The New Norm has had a bizarre Roanoke-like disappearance. Because yeah, as of basically the last 2 months, they're more or less completely gone from the internet. Excuse me, who are you?
Don't mind me, just keep going.
Oh god, I find this unfathomably creepy.
Well, your internet isn't secure, dude. Anyone can just walk right in here and see what you're doing.
Wait, I know. Today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, can help. PIA is a VPN, but it's also so much more.
Ugh, I don't like the sound of this.
Without a VPN, cybercriminals can potentially steal your data and your information. Both your privacy and your security are at risk. Using Private Internet Access keeps your identity safe and your data protected with state-of-the-art customizable encryption. Be gone, villain! You can also use PIA to change your location and access movies from other countries. US Netflix? No Shawshank Redemption. Japan Netflix? You'll be watching Andy Dufresne's perilous journey in no time at all. But remember 15 seconds ago when I said that PIA also offers so much more? Included in their basic service for free is the email breach scanner to let you know if your email has been affected by any recent security breaches. While it's probably too late for my middle school email that I signed up for 70 million different websites websites, it's not too late for you. Using the internet is great, you're doing it right now, but there are so many criminals out there who will gladly profit at the expense of your privacy. So if you want to start browsing the internet a lot more safely, sign up for private internet access today. Link down below in the description. Thanks again to PIA for sponsoring the video, and now back to your regularly scheduled programming. My name is Patrick, but my friends call me Pat. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It gets this video out to more people, and ring the bell so that way you know YouTube will always send you my videos, social media down there, and most importantly, heart back by popular demand. It bears noting that The New Norm isn't a television show in the traditional sense, because despite claiming to be the first animated sitcom on X, sitcoms generally, as a rule of thumb, last longer than 3 minutes. Ideally, so should your boyfriend. Heyo! Low-hanging fruit, but we take those every day. Ba-ba-ba-bo. The titular character, as well as the set, are more or less completely ripped off from an actually famous sitcom called All in the Family, which prided itself on also depicting the politics of a turbulent era in American history. It's funny how these idiots have never had to deal with a lawsuit, yet I have YouTube all over my dick because I have the audacity to post clips of a movie in a movie review. But these fuckheads can copy and paste the entire premise of a different TV show on their Twitter, get millions of views, and it's no issue. And since it was posted on X, the Everything app, they even got paid for the privilege. Granted, you know, probably like $5.03, but still. In fairness, I probably should change my verb tenses. I should be saying they got millions of views, because their second episode only got 2 million, and their most recent one has only gotten 90,000. And a Twitter view is basically nothing compared to you right now, a YouTube viewer. You give my life meaning and purpose. A Twitter viewer, you know, you can just see that while you're on the toilet. Although if you're watching me on the toilet, you know, I'll just pretend you're not. But this precipitous decline in viewership perhaps could offer an explanation as to why they've only posted twice since June 10th, which constitutes an eternity for right-wingers who are addicted to posting on Twitter. Their most recent creative work, if you can call what they do creativity, which is really stretching the definition of the word, but it was a post directly in the aftermath of the Trump and Elon breakup. They also used the song YMCA, which I will probably have to censor.
Can't we all just get along?
In a sense, this video is kind of like analyzing a child of divorce, except for once, it's not me this time, guys. It's the new Norm. Who's getting Norm in the custody battle? And who's getting the normal beer? A lot of people have asked me to cover the Trump-Elon breakup in more depth, and I haven't really had a strong inclination to do so because they frankly remind me of a lot of real-life couples that I know. They'll fight very publicly, they're clearly not right for each other, but somehow after they break up, they just end up in a 6-month-long situationship anyway. We all know people like that, whether they're people you went to high school with and still follow on Instagram, or they're, you know, leaders of the free world. Granted, the Trump-Elon split was filled with an enormous amount of bad blood, which really put my own most recent breakup into perspective. We just weren't meant to be together long-term, and that's okay. We ended things amicably, and I didn't go on Twitter to accuse him of being in the Epstein files, which is a real thing that Elon Musk did, even if he has since deleted the tweet. I did, however, go on Twitter to complain that I still had to do my taxes after being broken up with, but I think that's a universal feeling hopefully we can all empathize with, right? This preface will make a lot more sense as we get into the first episode, because it's nothing more than a fawning AI depiction of Elon Musk being le epic prankster. In his recent exile from MAGA world, has the new Norm faced with the prospect of their deity being drop-kicked off the top of Mount Olympus. The first episode is quite different from the low-budget, hand-drawn style of the other three, because it's just AI slop. Generative AI defenders will tell me that the technology can be used for something really positive, and then they'll show me a clip like this.
You posted this meme?
Yes.
And you posted this comment?
Yes.
You know, initially I thought it was kind of novel and fun to see the new Norm depicted in a different art style, but then I remembered it's not actually art. It's just a product that's been made by looking at a bunch of copied, stolen art, and in the process of making it, we've chopped down another chunk of the rainforest. Sorry trees, sorry water, but Daddy needs to make another AI fetish video with AOC and Elon Musk.
Mr. Musk.
Call me Elon.
To the predominantly minority neighborhoods that are seeing their quality of life decimated so that we can build data centers to power AI, I hear you, I see you, but this is such based entertainment that it really doesn't matter. There's a whole other discussion to be had here about what artificial intelligence is capable of, a lot of it being pretty unethical when you consider the X-rated things it has the capacity to make. But that obscures a lot of the technically PG, but very weird things it can already do now. I'm a semi-public figure. If you made an AI video of me falling in love with Elon Musk, a crypto-fascist with the body of a beached whale, I probably would have to take a katana and ritualistically stab myself like a warrior whose honor has been besmirched. That's the plot such that it exists in this AI slop video. AOC is interrogating Norm and Elon on Capitol Hill over a mean tweet that Elon made before Norm butts in to praise Elon and talk about everything that he's done for him.
It's because of him that millions saw my post, including the mother of my child.
It's funny how little sense this joke makes in context, because Norm's wife was in the first episode. How would she be stumbling upon it randomly on Twitter, Norm? She lived it! It's like when Elizabeth Warren thanked her husband for being in her campaign video.
Thank you for being here. Pleasure. I'm glad you're here.
That naturally prompts Trump to fire off this now iconic tweet. It's their house! He's supposed to be there! Look, Donald Trump has done a real bad job as president, has probably set the country back 30 years, but he is certainly funnier than whatever the hell this is.
Don't you have enough kids?
I have a hands-on approach to the world's population crisis.
Except, no, you literally don't. You take a very hands-jack-off approach. You mail women your sperm and ask them to do IVF to have your children. Like, that's a thing that's been reported. Elon Musk is basically speed-running the path to becoming a deadbeat dad, except he's skipping over the actual fun part where you get to have sex with the women. It's like if instead of eating a slice of birthday cake, you just drank a bunch of olive oil. You get all the calories, twice the aggravation, and none of the enjoyment.
You'll never get your hands on me. I'm boycotting you.
Then go yourself.
Well, you know, honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but this video could have ended a lot worse, given what Elon Musk's AI Grok was writing about the outgoing CEO, Linda Yaccarino, essentially unconsensual erotic fantasies. So, at least it wasn't that bad. That was the first episode, really more of a rejected prequel, and it did not go over well for me. But to give them a tiny crumb of credit, this suggests a much darker path that they could have gone down. The new norm could have been a content mill of low-effort AI garbage. Instead, it's, to my knowledge, a low-effort content mill of human garbage, which I find infinitely more respectable. Although in the future, they fully could be using AI. I'm writing this before I've watched the other 3 episodes, so don't make a fool out of me, Norm! Don't make a fool out of me, man! Episode 2 is entitled Electile Dysfunction, and you'll notice a bit of a theme here between this episode and the next, because they are both about the 2024 election right before it happened. Here we've actually got a tiny semblance of a plot. Norm's daughter, alongside our favorite anarchist Chaz, are arguing with Charlie and Norm about the upcoming election while being right outside a spaceport. The liberals are going to Canada in a spaceship that looks like a penis, and the conservatives are going to Mars in a ship that also looks like a penis, albeit a larger one. And I'd love to make a joke here about how conservative men are always projecting with stuff like this because they have smaller penises than liberals, but to be honest with you, I have too much self-respect to have ever actually had sex with a conservative. Look, a gay's gotta have principles after all. But I find it funny how liberals are going to this resource-rich, developed country with food, healthcare, and frankly, oxygen, and the conservatives are going to a barren planet over a year away with an atmosphere that's entirely unsuitable to human existence. Sadly, neither group will be able to buy a house where they land. Elon and Trump then drop down from their ship, and isn't it so painful looking at old videos from your relationship with the benefit of hindsight? Why couldn't they just get along?
Your side eats dogs and cats.
Our guy just sings about it.
They're eating the dogs. Eating the pets.
Oh yeah, remember how Donald Trump just lied about an entire community of immigrants eating pets? It became a meme and a song, and then it probably helped him win the election? Yeah, that happened. We then get into one of the first attempts of the new norm to actually say something substantive about our current political moment.
Maybe we all can get along.
There, on the slope roof.
Janice, Norm's wife, who is never outright despised by Norm but doesn't really seem to get a lot of respect, offers the banal platitude of, "Why can't we just all get along?" which is, ridiculous on its surface. To a certain extent, it reminds me of this meme of the person in the middle, but the new norm is, I think, trying to make a different point entirely. Americans want to get along, but we can't because crazed liberal Hillary Clinton wants to Lee Harvey Oswald our glorious president.
Yes! Oh my God!
Ooh. Ha! A DEI hire.
It's funny how Norm calls this obvious stand-in for former Biden official Rachel Levine as a DEI hire, when later in the episode she is successfully piloting a spaceship. Sure, it eventually falls out of orbit, but I think space travel is a place where I would give someone who's a complete novice at it some partial credit if they're able to at least get the thing to take off. Although everything I've just said notwithstanding, admittedly, maybe the new norm is centrist, because we get a scene with Vladimir Putin admitting that his plot to divide America has unfortunately worked.
My plan worked. They're destroying each other.
The show is making my head hurt, but you are not a communist just because you come from Russia. That's just not how it works. It's like saying everyone from Portland is in one big polycule. And frankly, if you know anything about modern Russian history, the assumption that Vladimir Putin is a communist is it's insane. It's crazy. I think the new norm is starting to strain their institutional credibility, and my God, that is a ridiculous sentence that I just said out loud.
Oh, yet.
I can't tell what I find funny or how even in this hypothetical bizarro reality world where a penis spaceship destroys the Kremlin that we'd probably still start World War III, or how the news headline here is simply "The Kremlin is on fire." Are the chyrons being written by a Neanderthal? Breaking news, man steals fire from the gods. But let's check in on Trump and Elon and Norm. Excuse me, stay tuned for merch?
A crummy commercial?
So that's all this was, huh? This was just a ruse to sell cheap products manufactured in China and cash in on your audience? Well, if that's the truth, they are doing a terrible job. I tried to buy this epic anti-woke t-shirt for Thanksgiving. By the way, the top reply to that advertisement is fully explicit X-rated material, which I'm censoring both for the algorithm's benefit and for yours and for mine. But their website doesn't even work. How are you going to make a weird episode plugging your products and plugging your website, and then you don't even have anything to sell, and you don't even have a website that's online? Is this the modern day equivalent of breadlines? I feel like I'm in the Soviet Union waiting for my new norm beer koozies.
I'm Norm. I want normal beer. Problem is, nowadays, beer's covered in rainbows and drag queens.
No, this isn't a problem, Norm. I've had like 2 rainbow beers in my entire life, and I've never had a beer with drag queens on the can. Although that is a good idea for next Pride, so someone feel free to use that. Episode 3 was released right after the polls closed on Election Day 2024, and it's easily both the least creative and also the most schizophrenic. I don't even really need to show a lot of it because the vast majority of the episode is Chaz and Norm's daughter arguing with Norm and Charlie about the implications of Kamala versus Trump.
Your guy's an idiot.
Your girl's a cackling idiot.
Your VP is weird. See? You agree on something.
All right, so clearly the new norm is aligning with the sexiest ideology there is, centrism. Remember, everybody, there is actually zero difference between good things and bad things, you f***ing idiot. better things are not possible. The tone of this episode makes what we just watched frankly even stranger, because Janice, in the last episode, Norm's wife, was trying to preach the virtues of just getting along and being centrist before Hillary Clinton tried to Leon Cholgaz Donald Trump. Deep cut presidential assassination reference right there.
Angry man said I will do what a poor man can.
I think bipartisanship is pretty much impossible if one side is trying to perpetuate political violence. Most of this administration. But perhaps the new norm is claiming that Hillary Clinton is an out-of-state actor working beyond politics, having gone rogue, like Ethan Hunt in the Mission Impossible movies. And I guess that's how we have to square up the bizarre and inconsistent ideology of the new norm, because this episode is remarkably centrist. Although don't get me wrong, there's certainly a lot of right-wing cope in it as well.
Fascists are on your side.
Nazis are on yours.
Huh? Nazis?
Charlottesville? Tiki torches?
That was years ago.
That was years ago, but which person running for president actively defended them at the time, Norm? I guess that normal beer has given you some brain damage, and I'm arguing with a right-wing cartoon, aren't I? I guess I also have gotten brain damage from the normal beer. Now, if I told you there was going to be a very deliberate and very prolonged reference to an 80s movie in this episode, would you believe me? You probably would, because you would assume I'm talking about Rambo, and conservatives love Rambo, even though they've clearly never watched the film. But that's actually not the movie they reference. It's the semi-obscure, third most famous Matthew Broderick movie, War Games.
The only winning move is not to play.
No matter who wins, we all lose.
Strange game.
Wow, this is, dare I say it, a piece of absurdist art. To see an open and avowed partisan in the new norm realize that our political system is fundamentally flawed, including their unquestioned loyalty to Donald Trump, which they must surely be forsaking. They're embracing a greater level of acceptance that our capitalist economy is flawed. They're accepting a truly enormous amount of class consciousness. I wonder how this episode ends.
The only winning move is not to play. How about a nice normal beer? Normal beer.
Another commercial! Another commercial! I'm starting to think that the new norm just ain't the same as the old norm, because this norm keeps trying to sell me something, and their stupid website is still broken. Alright, the final episode we have today was made well after the election, and introduces a new character to the Normverse, Barstool founder Dave Portnoy.
Can somebody explain to me Fartcoin?
Okay, so clearly they couldn't afford to animate him for longer than 2 seconds, and they even reused this clip one more time in the episode, even though it's not even 2 minutes long, but still.
Fartcoin?
Can somebody explain to me Fartcoin?
Please, for the love of God, someone explain Fartcoin to the man. Our final piece of norm content to date was released right around the time when Trump was releasing his own meme coin. And I've actually covered that story, so you can check out my video when you're done with this, but long story short, it was exceptionally unethical, and at one point added almost $40 billion to Donald Trump's net worth. Just remember, everybody, Jimmy Carter gave up his peanut farm, and Donald Trump is doing this. Anyways, everyone's favorite anarchist Chaz has made a meme coin of their own.
I made a meme coin. For theys, thems, and all of us who will always stay woke and never let DEI die.
Get it, guys? It's a woke coin. 'Cause they're woke. Wait, why is my rim shot not working? My drums are broken. Why won't this work?
How do you people keep winning?
How did Trump derange you this time?
He launched a meme coin.
Alright, well, there goes my whole new norm is centrist theory, because they've quickly abandoned it just as quickly as they adopted it, and they've gone right back to putting presidential cock in their mouth.
Looks like Trump's coin is worth billions. And your coin's only worth...
Think you can do better?
You challenging me?
Wait. This episode is about meme coins, and Norm is making a meme coin. This is gonna be another commercial, isn't it?
My face on a coin. Take that, Harriet Tubman.
I've just been shown a web series that continually tries to sell me things that don't actually exist, whether it's a t-shirt that I can't buy, or a meme coin that I'm sure was rug pulled almost instantly. The only actual product that Norm has ever tried to advertise and sell have been the My Pillows, run by the Nazi guy selling them for $14.88. Alright, I'm pulling the plug for my own sanity. Has the new Norm produced anything of value? No, not really. I'd say this was all an opportunistic cash grab, but that implies that there was ever any cash to grab, and it really speaks to the profound laziness of whoever created this show. This all begs the question, why have they suddenly disappeared from the internet, Croatoan Roanoke style? Right-wingers be fightin'. I mean, how do you think the new Norm would deal with a certain very bad guy whose name rhymes with Gleffrey Wepstein? The new Norm is clearly aligned with Elon Musk, and their vague attempts to moderate, if you can even call it that, and pay lip service to centrism as a concept and the idea that we should all just get along falls completely flat when you consider what it actually requires to be a right-of-center media personality at this point in history. Complete acquiescence to Donald Trump. Anything less than that is viewed as disloyal and is rejected by a large part of the audience that you would need to be actually successful. And this required adoration of Donald Trump is becoming increasingly hard to square, given that the new Norm's icon Elon Musk is fighting with him, and Elon has essentially been exiled to the island of Elba, leaving the new Norm in the political wilderness. Is Elon quietly biding his time to return, just like the new Norm? I doubt it. In all likelihood, if Napoleon Bonaparte had been given access to the internet when he was on that island captivity, I don't know if he would have ever left either. Clemens von Metternich is trying to secure dominance of the European continent? Concerning. Yep, we're going out on the Napoleon Twitter joke. Fuck it, it's my YouTube channel. That's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Really gets this video out to more people, and I super duper appreciate it. Comment down below what you think. Is the new Norm the same as the old Norm? Are we ever gonna see him again? Are we ever gonna see Mr. Bircham again? Will conservatives ever produce art? That's actually good. And as always, my name is Patrick, but my friends call me Pat, and I'll see you for the next one.